Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to our Diversity, our first ever in the series, our Straight Talk with our amazing panelists and our distinguished moderator. First, I would like to take this time to thank you all for joining us this evening. We are spilling the tea tonight, and the tea is hot. I see a few of my panelists have their tea ready. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Jessica Grijon, and I am the Interim Associate Director of Admission Services at Stockton. I have worked as a professional staff member at Stockton for 11 years, but before that, I am a proud alum, class of 2009, all right, Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies. And I'm also a proud Latina, all right? So I'm trying to bring the vibes, I'm trying to bring the authenticity of what this evening is all about. Born in New York City, from parents who were born and raised in the Dominican Republic, raised in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and I'm a first-generation college student. And that means that I am just so thrilled to be able to host the first ever recruitment event that is all about us, celebrating diversity and celebrating Black History Month. I want to say just a few words before I introduce Amanda Noel, who is the brains behind this entire event. Achieving equitable access to college for communities of color has been a critical goal for higher education. And that dates back to the Civil Rights Act in 1964, the Higher Education Act in 1965. So this is also all important because it's recognizing and protecting institutional autonomy and freedom to construct a diverse campus that generates educational benefits for students and allows it to fulfill its educational mission. And diversity can mean a lot of things to different campuses. At Stockton, diversity to me means that there is a space for you. And you see that I'm wearing my Spaces t-shirt because I'm a proud member of this retention initiative. I am also the advisor for Los Latinos Unidos. I am the vice president of Unidos, which is an organization for faculty and staff, Latinx community. I am a proud founding member of To Get Her, which is a retention initiative for women of color, and also a founding member of First Ospreys, which is for our first generation college students. So I'd like to now turn over to Miss Amanda Noel so that Miss Amanda can introduce our fabulous moderator, who will then introduce our rest of our panelists. Welcome everyone, by the way. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You all are coming in. And just to let you know that we are going to be live streaming through Instagram and Facebook. So make sure that you are telling all of your friends about this important discussion. Now I'll mute myself and turn it over to our fabulous honorees this.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I am so excited. First and foremost, my name is Amanda. I am a senior here at Stockton University. Aside from being an admissions ambassador, I am also a proud sister of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I wore my special shirt today to show you guys. So to start off, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who's joining here, our panelists. So thank you so much. As a senior and that I'm graduating, it is such a great honor to be able to put on this event for you guys to show you a little bit more of diversity. Let's keep going, let's talk and bring a discussion. So it is with great honor to introduce our amazing moderator, Dr. Lewis. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening, everyone. It's so fantastic to be here. I am so excited to be a part of this event. First of all, I want to congratulate everybody on the call on your hard work that you've put in to get to this point in your academic career. I mean, that is just fantastic. As Amanda said, my name is Dr. Maya Lewis. I'm an associate professor of social work here at Stockton University. I've been here about 10 years. I thoroughly enjoy my job. I thoroughly enjoy working with undergraduate and graduate students here at the university. A lot of this stuff you can see in my bio, so I won't just keep going on about it. But one of the things I think is important is that I really am committed to teaching and learning about diversity, inclusion, and cultural competence and how it impacts social work and also how it just impacts our students' lives. So I'm really excited to be here this evening. With that being said, I just want to to, like I said, commend you all on your decision to apply to that next level of education. And I understand that as you're thinking about schools, right, as a person of color, one of the things that you're going to think about is how is my identity going to play a part in my education in terms of the school that I choose to go to. So I thought tonight, I'm excited to be here. We can spill the real tea about what that means, especially at a school like Stockton, which is a predominantly white institution. So with that being said, I would love to take a moment and have our panelists introduce themselves. So Jess, should I just go down the line and call out for folks? Amanda, is that how I should do? Excellent. So first I'll start with Dion. Dion Davis, would you care to say a few words and hello to everybody this evening?
Hey everybody, how are you this evening? My name is Dion Davis. I'm an alumni now of Stockton University, recent graduate. I graduated in 2020. I got my degree in communication with a concentration in production. I'm currently working at the Boys and Girls Club of Atlantic City, one of my favorite places to be. I love the kids here. I love being able to, have an impact on their lives and influence them, what else should I say? Is that pretty much it? Just an introduction.
I think that's good for now. We'll get to hear all the amazing things you have to say in just a little bit, but thank you, Dion. No Jonathan, would you care to go next?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Can everybody hear me? Yep. All right, good. Okay, so my name is Jonathan Colon. I am a senior at Stockton. My 5th year, and I'm studying to get a bachelor's in public health with a minor in business studies. So it's hard to say that. I'm also a member of clubs known as Las Latinas Unidos and a former treasurer of Pride Alliance. And I just chose Stockton because of the natural feel, and I actually have had numerous experiences with school like this, and it's just good to be here. Thank you, everybody that showed up.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Let's go over to Janet Martin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Janet. I'm a sophomore social work major here with minors in Spanish and childhood studies. I'm from Atco, New Jersey. It's a little town in South Jersey. I'm a member of the Unified Black Student Society. I'm in the Stockton chapter of the NAACP, and I'm an RA on campus and also a admissions ambassador.
Janet, thank you. How about we hear from Jaslyn Muñez, sorry.
Hi, my name is Jaslyn Muñez. I am a junior here at Stockton. My major is criminal justice with a concentration in forensic investigation and a minor in victimology and victim services, which is such a big bunch of words to say. A little bit about me. I am in Los Latinos Unidos, as well as I'm an admissions ambassador, and I am a mentor for our Goals Gear program here at Stockton.
How awesome. Hi, Jaslyn. Roy, care to introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Roy Cook Jr. I'm a senior here, health science major with a minor in Africana studies. Apart from being just a regular student, I'm an ambassador, an admissions ambassador, and a resident assistant. And I was also a former member of the Stockton Entertainment Team and a part of Sankofa, which is a retention initiative here.
That's so cool. We'll hear all about that in a minute. I want to hear more about that Sankofa from you, Roy, if you don't mind, a little bit later. And last but of course not least, let's hear from Wilhelmina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Wilhelmina Kennedy. I'm an alumni. I graduated in 2019. I was a biology major with a concentration in biotechnology. I'm from Galloway, New Jersey. I was a commuter. Currently, I am a second-year medical student at Cooper Medical School. Yeah, thank you. And I was very involved on campus, admissions ambassadors, so many other things, and I'm so happy that I'm here.
Thank you, Wilhelmina. So as you can see, everybody, we've got this amazing group of people here to talk with you about their experiences. My job is just to moderate. So for once, I get to kind of sit back, and it's going to be hard for me because I like to talk, but I will I'll zip it. So I thought we would just jump right into our questions. So we'll have a couple of questions for you all that our panelists will discuss, and then we're going to get the Q&A. So that's when, we can continue with the tea, right? We'll continue with the tea. So with that being said, I'm going to ask the first question. I'm going to put it out there. A biggie, right? Before I get started, I want to say a couple of things. You'll hear acronyms, right? You'll hear acronyms like HBCU. You'll hear acronyms like PWI. So when we say PWI, we're saying predominantly white institution. When we're saying HBCU, we're saying historically Black college and university. And when we're saying HSI, we're saying Hispanic serving institution. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure, in case we slip into our acronyms, that our people on the call, we all know what we're talking about, right? So with that being said, let's just jump right into it and ask, why did you choose Stockton, a PWI, over an HBCU or an HSI? So I'll start with Janet. Janet, can I throw that question over to you? Why did you choose Stockton?
So for me, it really came down to cost. I think a lot of Black students, when they're looking for a college, are like, I'm going to at least look into an HBCU. And I did the same thing. I looked into a few HBCUs, but my major is social work. And it's difficult to find my major at any school for undergrad. So I was looking for HBCUs with my major, and that just wasn't really going to work for what I wanted for college. I didn't want to go far. And also just some of the admissions requirements called for me to do a little more work than I was willing to do. Honestly, I didn't want to do too much. So I ended up applying really only to PWIs. And I chose Stockton because it was close to where I live. I live 40 minutes away from here. So it's far enough that my parents aren't coming and knocking on my door every day, and it's close enough that I can go home on the weekend if I want to. And I came to the school, I was not sure where I was going to go. I didn't come here like other people get to, and they're like, I'm in love with this place. I had to take a minute, and it took me meeting Amanda and meeting other admissions ambassadors like Ashley Cody, and deciding like, okay, I can see myself here because I can see that I can make a community for myself. And that's what it took for me. I needed to know that I could have a community somewhere, and I found one here.
That was awesomely said, Janet. I love that idea of community. That becomes that part of a college career that isn't put out front right in the beginning. Jaslyn, can you tell us a little bit about why you chose Stockton?
So very similar to what Janet said, many colleges and universities don't really have my concentration, which is forensic investigation. It's a very unique concentration in itself. So it's only a couple of schools. Actually, I believe Stockton's probably the only one in New Jersey that actually has this concentration in itself. So definitely that was one of the main aspects of it. While I was looking for colleges, I really just wanted to focus on my major because that's what was important to me. Obviously, getting to the end goal, getting to my career, that was always important to me. As well as like just, I feel like the professors, when I came to an open house, because I actually came to an open house, the professors were really nice and they were really cool and they really wanted me to succeed. And I feel like that's the best part of everything, when you find professors that actually want to help you succeed. And I'm from Elizabeth, New Jersey, if anybody knows where that is. North Jersey, let's say that. I'm from Elizabeth, New Jersey. So obviously I come from a very diverse community, and as well as I come from, it's not really a small town, but it's a good sized town where I know everybody. And I wanted to kind of get away from that and kind of be my own person in a way. I kind of wanted to stray away from my community and this diverse community and kind of get out in the world and see how it would be just me and everybody else, and not just me stuck in a diverse community. I kind of wanted to see a little bit more of what the world is.
Jaslyn, thank you. Thank you both so much. It's interesting to see how much goes into the decision besides you know, I mean, you all both mentioned majors, which of course is important, but there was also that other stuff, that other context that was really crucial. Thank you so much. So in keeping with that theme, so my next question is, what avenues, so we're talking about community, right? What avenues did you all take to find a safe space once you got here that promoted being an inclusive environment here at Stockton? So what avenues did you take to find a safe place or safe space that promotes an inclusive environment here at Stockton? So I'll start with, let's ask our alumni this time. So Dion, would you care to answer that question?
Yeah, I'll answer that question. Actually, prior to me actually coming to Stockton, I was a part of a mentoring program that had a strong relationship with Stockton. It was called Champions of Youth, actually from the Boys and Girls Club where I'm at right now. So that's really like how I got engaged with Stockton very early on, from when I was a sophomore in high school. And that was one way that like I really like built community over there. I got the chance to meet the former president before Dr. Kesselman, and then I also met Dr. Kesselman, and I met a bunch of professors. We did a bunch of different service learning projects, which is something that you'll do once you get to Stockton. I feel like you'll take at least one class that has a service learning component, but just having the opportunity to meet all those people prior to me actually coming to the institution. And then I also was a part of the EOF program. So that's another community in itself that supports you all throughout your college career. And you just have people like looking out for you. And even if like you kind of feel weird coming into like the first like real day of college where everybody's like swarming the hallways and everything, you at least have one person that you can look at, whether it's a professor, whether it's other students that were in the EOF program, that you can look to and say, hey, like, I know that kid. And that kind of gave me a little bit of solace because that's actually a reason that I chose Stockton. I'm from Atlantic City and we actually have a campus in Atlantic City now. But prior to that campus being built, there was only the Galloway campus. And I kind of wanted to stay like close to Stockton because I didn't have a solid foundation in my educational experience yet. I was just like kind of getting my footing as far as like being like confident in myself as a student. And EOF provided me with that support that I needed to kind of build that stamina as far as being a student. But I also like after like EOF and everything, I joined Student Senate like Wilhelmina was saying earlier. And I felt a sense of like responsibility to my community at that point because people were looking at me to like, hey, like Dion, why are they changing like our bill? Like, why is our academic, not academic, extracurricular like activities, the activity funds? That's what it is. Why is that being raised? They would look to me for that kind of guidance and everything. So kind of being in different roles at the university, once you like kind of get acclimated to the university, puts you in a different position for your community to serve your community.
Absolutely. And don't let Dion's like really like calm and everyday nature like fool you. This was such a heavy hitter. Let me tell you, every time I looked around, I saw this guy on campus. This was our student representative to the board of trustees. Am I right, Dion? Am I right? Board of Trustees, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I just want to say it right. I wanted to say it right. So this was a heavy hitter, but I thought it was interesting what you said about how having that community, you know, and really searching for that kind of helped you. It sounded like step into your leadership even more. And I think I
probably wouldn't have served on the Board of Trustees or even attempted to run for Senate if it wasn't for my community back home and my Stockton community that I had fostered prior to actually coming to the institution.
Fantastic. That inclusion is so important, right? Well, Lamina, would you care to talk a little bit about, let me just remind you of the question, sorry, but what avenues did you take when you were here to find a safe space?
Yes, of course. I definitely resonate with a lot of the things that Dion was saying. Unfortunately, I was not part of EOF. I really wish I was part of that experience. But entering Stockton, I also was looking for a home. I was looking for a community of not just like-minded people, but people who could help me grow and figure out my identity moving forward. And for me, those two spaces, well, I had two spaces. It was mostly through clubs and being involved. And the two spaces was females and ASO. So female stands for focused, educated, motivated, aspiring ladies, empowering society. I've said that so many times. So it's a feminist club. It had a huge emphasis on community service, which I was attracted to. We did a lot of service like in Atlantic City and like the Galloway area. And this made me just have like a sisterhood on campus. Although it wasn't part of sorority life, I still felt like I had that sisterhood. We had events that were talking about like self-love, and there were educational events and things that just sought to like empower us. And also we spent a lot of quality time together. So I found that community, and like, I remember that so fondly. There was also a brother organization called Males, and they did similar things, and we had events together. So then the second space was ASO. So that stands for the African Student Organization. My background is I was born in Liberia. My mom is from Sierra Leone. My dad is from Liberia. And I kind of had to come into that cultural background. Growing up, of course, I had cousins, but I didn't really have friends who were in that. And Stockton's really great because there's so many cultural clubs where you can find your people, find and like build on your background too. And they're also very welcoming to everyone. So with ASO, we were just spreading the African culture. We had events, we had educational things, we had fundraising, fashion shows, like that was really fun. So both of those organizations like really drew me in. Like I said, they were very, very inclusive, but they also helped me find my identity. It was less of like, okay, are there enough seats at the table? Like we actually like would bring out like pull out chairs, like everyone's welcome, everyone can learn, everyone needs to be empowered. Like these are important things that we're talking about. These are important spaces that we want to create for everyone. So I really appreciated that.
Thank you, Wilhelmina.
Dr. Lewis.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I forgot about my fraternal ties.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't want to talk too much because I did like a lot of Stockton and I didn't want to like take up all the time. But I'm also a brother of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. It's a black fraternity, not a black fraternity, but a historically black fraternity. My fraternity is the first intercollegiate Greek letter organization to ever Black Greek letter organization to ever be established. And my sisters, Dr. Lewis and Amanda. But that was another avenue for me to really like find my voice at Stockton too. Taking leads on a bunch of different events. I don't know if anybody's been to anybody in the panel has been to the Miss Black and Gold Scholarship Pageant, but that was like one of my favorite things that I did. It gave us an opportunity to really interact and get to know the young ladies that were on our campus, like in like a different like space than just like, you know, passing in the hallway, and really get to see like what they care about. We had like this section of the pageant called Strong Woman. And it was a section where we asked them to choose a woman in society that they admired. And just seeing the women that they chose, like Maya Angelou, like there were a bunch of different women that I can't really think about right now. But just seeing the people that inspired them really inspired me. And just being able to like have that experience with those young women. But that was just another thing that I did. I thought I should add that before we got too far.
So we're going to tell everybody how you forgot to mention your fraternity, just to let you, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But thank you, Dion, for that, because that is important. And if anyone is ever interested or researched, you know, like historically Black sororities and fraternities, they were founded to, even though they were not all of them, but some of them were founded at HBCUs, but many were also founded at PWIs to help students of color to find that inclusive space, right? And so we look at our alum, Wilhelmina, and we see that she's in medical school, and we have to understand, I would think she would agree, and kind of mentioned it, how her involvement in these spaces, these inclusive spaces, probably helped her in terms of networking, finding out information, and also just staying motivated, right, towards your goals. So I think that that's an important piece, and a piece that as a student of color, you wonder, is that going to be there for me, right, at a predominantly white institution? So thank you guys for mentioning that. So I noticed in the chat, we already have a question from Nigeria, I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong, which I apologize, but I'll tell you, Nigeria, I'm not forgetting your question, but we're going to just get through a couple more questions. I think we only have like one more, and then we'll hit your question up right away. Okay. So thanks for being patient. I appreciate that. All right. So let me just move on to maybe some realty that we might be wanting to know. And I'm going to ask this question of our panelists. Has anybody experienced any feelings of marginalization here at Stockton? And if so, can you share with us your experience and how you felt about the resolution? So have you had any experiences with being marginalized here at Stockton, being that you are usually a member of minority? And could you talk to us about that experience and how you felt about the resolution? So I'm going to start with Roy, if you don't mind. Roy, would you care to share at all?
Yeah, I'll share. First, I just want to say, if you guys hear any sizzling in the back, I apologize. My roommate is making burgers and mac and cheese, so I just want to apologize. But back to the question, yeah, I definitely did feel marginalized. I could say this, well, I can cite a specific incident. I also talked about this incident in one of our community conversations that we had about diversity. This was a few months back, but so I find that being at a PWI, it's easy for us to feel marginalized since we are the minority here as people of color. So, but for me, this specific incident, I was in a rhetoric and composition class my freshman year here. And the professor in the course, so during the course, we went over literary works, and the N-word was used within the literary works that we had to go over as a class. But sometimes the professor took it out of context, and there was even one incident where he said, "Come on, guys, we're not at elementary anymore, the word is," and he proceeded to say the N-word himself. So me being a freshman, a young African-American male, the only African-American in the class, it was hard trying to navigate that experience on my own, but I was able to get through it just by reaching out to different communities that look like me, like Sankofa. They helped me feel more at home, Sankofa, UBSS, and there was also a few upperclassmen that really took a liking to me. So that really helped me feel safe here. But that incident did just make me feel marginalized here. And that's something that I really won't ever forget.
I'm sure you won't, Roy. That's pretty tough. And when it's coming from, somebody who's supposed to be leading the class, that can feel even a little worse. But I'm happy to hear that you were able to find that solace, right, within those different groups, and know that just to put it out there as a professor, right, where we make mistakes all the time. And Marcus said he's so sorry that happened. And I'm so sorry that happened to you too, that there are avenues to take here at the university, specific avenues to take if anything like that does happen to you in the classroom. And so I think that that's important to know. But I think that as we are all embarking upon our careers, we're going to come into contact in those spaces with microaggressions and things that just feel really, really uncomfortable and bad. And it's not our fault, right? It's not our fault. We do not ask for any of that. And it's important to recognize that. I want to jump to you and ask you, Wilhelmina, did you ever have an experience here at Stockton where you felt marginalized? And if so, how were you able to find resolution around that?
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to Roy for sharing your experience. So at my time at Stockton, I didn't really have any experience that I could pinpoint to say, okay, this was blatant racism, or this really made me feel marginalized. Of course, being in the sciences, there's not many of us in the sciences, not many of us looking to become doctors or in any pre-professional health career. So there are some times when you leave a conversation, you're like, that didn't really make me feel good, or why is this professor questioning my intelligence, or am I internalizing this? Am I being too sensitive? And I think it's really important to have these conversations with people that look like you and to just run to them in these times and be like, okay, this is what happened. And then also get like validation from them, because there's a lot of gaslighting that happens and it'll happen everywhere. I just want to let you know. I feel like at Stockton, it's such a nice community that like the whole institution tries to create, and you're kind of insulated. But just recognize that when you do go into the real world, you will encounter these experiences. So not so much at Stockton was it like overt. Microaggressions definitely happened. But now that I'm in the real world, now that I'm in healthcare, it's more in my face. And I do feel a little bit prepared for that.
That's excellent. I love how you were saying that those incidences, and then how you were able to resolve them by finding solace in people that validated what happened to you, right? That happened to you and that was terrible, or no, you're right, that was wrong. That was exactly what you thought it was. And I think that can be powerful. And to know that now that you've stepped away from Stockton, that was a resolution that works for you. I think that's really helpful too, and a way to be a professional and to continue to stay motivated. I think that is so important. I mean, this is real talk, guys, right? Like this happens, and it happens everywhere. And I have to say, as somebody who went to an HBCU, I went to Spelman College, I can tell you that things like this happen there. Now, obviously, I was around all African-American, mostly African-American people. And it wasn't all women's college, but I have to tell you, I had at least one professor who was really misogynistic and sexist. And that was really hard to deal with. And you are in a classroom and you're called names like little lady and, oh, sweetheart, you didn't mean that, or you need to just work harder. And I'm going, did he just say that? Did that just happen? So I think that our identities, right, especially if they're oppressed identities in any way, shape, or form, when we step out in the world, we are vulnerable, right, to different kinds of experiences that can make us feel marginalized and bad. And it's important to find spaces and people and mechanisms, right, to validate that and to push back about that. So thank you all so much. So finally, I have one last thing, and then let's get to the tea, right? Let's get to our panel, our participants. They got questions, they're in the chat, like they're coming. But this would be like the last one. And Jonathan, I'm coming for you on this one. So I hope you're okay with that. Yeah. Get ready. Yeah. If you don't mind, Jonathan, would you care to share any initiatives, right, that you're a part of or would like to be a part of or to start, right, that would help Stockton become, or that does help Stockton become a more inclusive, welcoming environment for students of color? So just any initiatives you're a part of that you would care to share or.
Gave me the hard question there. It's cool. It's cool though. Just some couple things I've been a part of currently. I'm a student operations assistant for 3 years, which basically means I'm the front desk, but I'm also the first person you will see in Atlantic City campus. I've been with LLU since I was a freshman, sophomore, as well as Stockton Pride Alliance, which is our LGBT plus club organization that we have. I'm also a resident assistant for Stockton as my first year. So one of the things I'm always doing is trying to find a way to keep different groups interested in different things going on at Stockton, always trying to figure out a way to keep them engaged, because as the semester goes on, you do kind of get sort of burnt out by a lot of different things and whatnot. And you're usually you only see what's around you, especially with this whole COVID situation going on, you're only in your room usually. So I'm always someone that's going to play music pretty loud, but respectful of 24-hour policy that's different. I'm always someone that's very approachable and even with my residents, I always try to see if they want to do stuff and things like that. And we just try to find a way to integrate different communities and different things like that. Currently, there's freshmen here that, you know, you see every once in a while and you just want to make sure they're like, okay. And you kind of just want to keep being a mentor to them, or not really a mentor, but just be a space where they can feel safe and build community. And with everyone's different experiences, you will naturally start seeing different inclusion as long as you keep trying to build that community and safe space.
Jonathan, thank you so much. What I'm taking from what you said is that getting involved in those things that you've gotten involved with has helped you to feel like a part of the university and have a network of people, right? That can support you, but then also give you the tools to support others. That's what it sounds like you're doing. That's so cool. Good for you. Janet, would you care to answer that question as well? Just kind of share any initiatives that you might be a part of or that you would like to start that would make Stockton an even more welcoming environment for students of color.
I've actually been thinking about this for like a few weeks. I haven't said anything to anyone, but so I was thinking about how Stockton doesn't have a like inclusive area, like a physical area where students of color, minority students can feel like, oh, I can go there and I can be around people who look like me, because it's important for you to feel that way, whoever you are. When you come to a PWI and you're a student of color, you know when you're like that only one in the room. And if we had a safe space for minorities, for racial minorities and ethnic minorities, we wouldn't feel that way if we had that place to go to just hang out. So I've been sitting on it and thinking that I should say something to somebody. I have even a place in mind. So I just think that it would be great if we just all had a place where we could go, and even students who aren't racial and ethnic minorities can go and show that they're allies and show that they're with us. But we really, I feel like there's a lot of, sometimes the groups like LLU and UBSS, Los Latinos Unidos, and Unified Black Student Society, we want to come together and we want to work together. And I feel like that could be a way for us all to come together and be able to continue on the unity as Stockton moves forward.
I don't know if,
I was gonna, do you want to spell it or should I spell it? Who's gonna spill this tea, right?
I don't know, because I wasn't directly a part of this planning, but like I heard through the grapevine the plans to do just that. That's why I was like, that's so interesting that you just said that, because there were plans and efforts to make that a thing, to make a space for students of color to be able to just come and be themselves. I feel like sometimes it's like overwhelming to like kind of have to like be in all these different spaces where you're the minority all the time, just to have like something for you. So that, I think, is a thing. I'm not there anymore, so I don't really know. But if I'm reading Dr. Lewis right, it is a thing. So
here's the tea. Oh, I hope I don't get in trouble. So if any administrators are on the call, I didn't say this. I don't know. I guess I did say it. Say it. So it's coming. It's called the Multicultural Center, and it is coming. We have the plants. The main guy that is doing does all the stuff in Atlantic City, that builds all these amazing buildings and gets the contractors. They are scouting spaces. They think they found a space. I mean, this is how far we are, Janet. This thing is coming. It is on the way. We're going to take bids and we're going to look at spaces. It's going to be called the Multicultural Center. They've got a designer firm coming out to make it amazing. One of the things we also have here at Stockton, which I love personally, is the Women's Center. We have a Women's Center. So it is, if you've not been there, you have to go. My new students that I know are going to come to Stockton, you got to see that place. And this is going to be in that same vein. It's going to be comfortable and inviting and welcoming, and a place to be and be yourself and be celebrated for being everything that you are right here. All the intersectionality, it will come together in the Multicultural Center. So Janet, that just means that you're thinking like the president of the university. You're thinking like all of the administrators, the chair of the Africana Studies major. You're thinking of all of these people, the vice president of student affairs, Dr. Chris Catchings. You're right in line with them, Janet. So what does this say about your future, right? It's coming.
Run for the board.
It is, I know. We heard it here first. Anyway, thank you all so much. You guys just really gave it to us. You gave us your experiences. You shared some of the things that isn't maybe easy to share, but I appreciate you, all of you. One thing I would say is that one of the ways in which I find that it seems like students are getting connected are through different classes, like our Africana Studies classes. So I know I teach a class called Black Feminism, and people, women come to that class, men too, this past semester, and we leave feeling like we're a community, and we leave with things like, can we just meet again? Can we just like meet and hang out and talk? So it's really great, and that's a way that they say that they feel, wow, I feel really comfortable here. I feel like this is a space for me to be myself and be around people who understand me. And we've got now an Africana Studies major. You can also minor in it, as Roy is. So yeah, it's a really, really big deal. And it's a great thing to add to your cadre of things. So I'm going to stop here. And I believe my instructions were to turn it over to Jess, who is going to deal with or address some of the questions in the chat. Am I right, Jess? Or am I your...
Yes. Sorry, I am behind the scenes. I am going like this. You know, we love going like this when we are feeling it. I am feeling the vibe. I am digging the chat. Everybody is just so excited for all of the changes that are coming. And this is all as a result from our student voices. So I am going to take it now to the audience. Okay, so we have a little slide here. If you are brave enough, please feel free to raise your hand and ask your question live. Your video will not be shown, unfortunately, but I will allow you to just ask your question live, or if you'd like, put it in the chat. We did receive another question here. So I am going to move forward with Miss Casey Birchtold's question. Amanda, can you share more about your experience as a sister of AKA?
Thank you so much for that question, Casey. My experience so far has been like the most amazing experience by far, being at Stockton University, and being that we are at a PWI institution, and that I was able to find a sorority that best fits me, that I was able to meet so many wonderful and great women that I aspire to be like. I've gained mentors, long life sisterhood, sisters, and being able to also put on events at the school to educate other people and make sure that everyone is coming in. We do study sessions, we come together and we have nights where we watch a movie, where we do facials, and just being one as a sister and truly being part of this organization, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, has been just literally the best part of my life.
That's fabulous. I'm so happy that we do offer all of these opportunities and different avenues for people, Black and Brown folks at Stockton, can feel a sense of community. I was not an AKA, but a lot of my besties are AKAs, so I feel like I am an honoree or like an invited member. Okay, sis. Okay, look at Dr.
Put your pinky eye.
Maybe when I go for my PhD, maybe I'll do a grad chapter or something. I don't know. You know, the journey.
Wait, there was another question that we do have that we did not get to answer.
Sure, yes, absolutely.
The question was, do you feel as though there is a separation regarding race in the majors you study? So if any one of our panelists want to answer that question.
I can touch on that if you guys want. So I have two very big, not different, but feels pretty different looking back on experiences with majors. I came into Stockton my freshman year as a biology major, field of STEM, and I actually graduated from a school, like in high school, known as Morristown Friends School. If you know about it, it is very much Yes, it's like there's like 7 people of color in each like in a class if you're lucky. I was the only Puerto Rican male. So when I came to Stockton, when I came to Stockton, I looked at the classroom. I was like, oh, this makes sense. And then I started seeing the professors. I was like, oh, this still kind of makes sense. You know, it's still a lot of white people. Okay, but that doesn't change how you still internally feel about that. You know, you're the only person of color really in a room. And with that, it does make you feel like you do get those usual, like, you know, they're already like doubting you off, like when you get in the room. And, you know, it's always tough and you always feel like you don't belong. But then I found a better passion for public health and all of that, especially after going through the STEM field and everything. It's not for me. And while the people that teach it, the professors, have been, I think 3 people in a row have just been white people, and the person for healthcare administration is literally one white male. Because they had the lens on public health, it does feel a little more as though I matter, especially when I look around the room, there's people of color, at least more than STEM and what I'm used to, which is always nice. So that doesn't depend on your major, but if you're lucky enough, you'll see more of us around in certain majors. And when we're around, we do definitely take notice of that. So, and we try to stay together, you know, because it's tough when you're the only one in the room. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I do also want to shout out, I don't want to mispronounce the name, but I think it's Ian Rahim. How strong is the relationship between the teachers and administration, the staff with students of color? So I'm thinking that he's saying, are there opportunities for conversations among our students, our staff, our faculty, shared governance, right, the community? And I mean, I know I could go for days and say yes, but I'd love the opportunity for Roy. I saw you put your hand up to answer that question.
Yeah, so I thought this would be like a good opportunity to touch on Sankofa, which is the Black Male Retention Initiative here. And that program really does allow you to have a space where you can connect with other faculty, other people of color that are here, administrators and faculty. And that's actually one thing that I utilized as a freshman. His name was Dr. Wandi. I'm not sure if he's still here, but he took a liking to me and he really mentored me. So that's just one resource that we have here, but there are multiple. I just wanted to touch on that one.
I just wanted to mention, so there's Together, which is spelled like together, but the HER at the end is capitalized. So like to get her, that's the women equivalent to Sankofa. So I actually, when I came to Stockton, I was told about Together before I even got here. And I looked for them when I got on campus. And that was really a community where I could go my freshman year and just hear the shared experiences of just being Black, being brown, and being a woman on campus, whether it was faculty or students. And there are similarities, whether you're a student or you're faculty, we have shared experiences. So to have that conversation, you really feel seen. And those groups really allow for us to feel seen.
Thank you, Janet. All right, so Navina, I am going to allow you to talk now so you can ask your question live. Thank you for being a brave soul to ask your question live.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the invite. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of everybody.
We're proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to read the question that I wrote. Okay. I said, does the students or professors at Stockton ever steal other students' work to advance their own agendas, like some people do in community college, and then fail the proactive body of students so that they are like, prevented or, pushed like they're not who they are or successful. Like, I get a lot of bad vibes, and it's more like, I think it's personal, and I don't have a Black last name, that, and I'm Black. And I don't see a lot of my peers where I attend now that are interested in everything that we're talking about right now. It is totally different where I'm at right now and where I'm hoping to come in the fall, which is Stockton. But I also want to say I was at Stockton that once, like, because I was transferring. Seriously, I said, you know what? I don't need to listen to somebody else. I can do what I want. So I came to Stockton. They were all for it. I didn't really feel the negativity that, you know, everyone here is saying that does exist. You know what I mean? So that, to me, that was like, when is that going to happen to me? Because like to see that or hear that where I'm at, and then I go to Stockton for like one day, and the professor tells me, hey, get out of here, because guess what? These students that's not doing their work, he's not going to pass. And like, I guess my participation was precise, accurate, more willingness of me that I prepared before that day in class. So I kind of more knew a briefing, refreshment to what he could have possibly taught that day. Because see, beforehand, I didn't know. But my experience was this, that I answered all of his questions. He was happy with my participation because he knew that from just transferring from one week to the next, that I pretty much was, you know, concentrating and focusing on being attentive to what he was going to teach. But the other students, and I was the only Black in there, was not doing their work. And the feeling that I got from that was that, you know, a lot of their mothers and fathers pay them to go to school and that they don't do their work. And like now, some of my stuff from my house is missing work, you know? Yes.
The tea is hot, honey. Navina brought the hot tea. I am sorry that happened to you. Previous institution, and we will not name the name. However, I want to give Dr. Lewis this opportunity to answer, because I truly believe here we have a unique experience for our students where, for example, this program this evening, I cannot take credit for anything because it was all the brains of our Amanda Noel, Leslie Camilo, Ashley Cody, he's in the audience, you know, all of our collaborative efforts go into everything that we do at Stockton, at least in my experience in the last 14 years being here. So Dr. Lewis, how do you involve your students in your research? How do you involve them when you're mentoring them? And how can you assure our students that when they're here and there are scholars that they are being recognized for the work they do?
Absolutely. Well, I just have to say, first of all, I am sorry, Navina, for all of that happened to you. But I will say at Stockton, the students here are serious. I haven't run into the students that are here to kind of play around. I mean, I think we all have fun in college. I think they have a good time. But I think when it comes to their work, they're serious. Our students have a lot going on, right? So they're usually working or they're trying to do community service or they're doing all these activities on campus, but they come here ready to go and ready to learn. And I think the professors meet them there. I know when I have students in my class, even, you know, students of color, all students, but I have to say when my students of color come to class, I feel a connection to them. I remember being where they were, and I enjoy mentoring them. So one of the things that I used to teach primarily in the graduate program, which I loved, but I really advocated to move to undergrad because I really wanted a chance to be more of a mentor to our students, particularly our students of color here at Stockton. And I think that, Navina, if you came here and you had a good feeling from Stockton, that was real. That wasn't fake. That was real. That's not going away. You'll see a smile in the hall. You'll see a nod from your fellow students of color. And then the knowledge and the understanding that we're all here for this goal, right? To get that bachelor's degree, to get our degree, and to realize their dreams and their goals in the future. And I think that they're all there to kind of support you in that. And so I feel like you'll get that feeling here, that atmosphere here. Folks like to have fun, but they're also serious about where they're trying to go. So at least that's my perspective. I'm on the other side, but that's what I see. So
can I add something real quick?
And I want to add after that too.
I just think like it's also really important to highlight that the students and faculties and professors and staff, they all have like this great connection and bond, which almost makes you feel like this is a family. Even though it's an institution, you walk into the classroom, you build that one-on-one relationship with your professor. And if you have a job, you build that one-on-one connection with your boss, and they check up on you. They ask if you're okay, if you didn't come to class, if you're missing work, and check up on you. So I think like being at an institution where faculties and staff do care about those students, and I'm speaking from like my honest opinion and having Jess here and Dr. Lewis here, of people who actually have checked up on me. So there's people that are here for you, who are looking out for you, making sure that they want to see you succeed at the end.
I was going to add to that, but Amanda said it best.
Okay, good.
The faculty and staff here are so dedicated to seeing everyone succeed. Like Amanda said, you can build a relationship with them, go to their office hours. The class sizes really help with facilitating that. So I'm really sorry that you had that experience. I hope it's much better at Stockton.
Just another perspective, if that was to happen to you here, not saying that it will, but a lot of the faculty and the administrators here are very, like, most of them have an open door policy. Like if you have any problems that you have to, resolve or anything, they're always there to help you guys. I used to walk up in people's office all the time. I was like, what are you doing here? But it was mostly to, help with, right. It was mostly to help with students, or to get my own help in understanding like how I should maneuver the institution. The faculty and staff are very good at making sure that students are informed, especially students of color, are informed about how to maneuver and operate within the ivory tower sometimes.
Thank you all for your honest answers to that, and for being a support system for Navina. Navina, we are very transfer friendly. I was a transfer student at Stockton. Okay, we need you. We want you. This is your home. And I hope that we can connect after this. Okay. I do have some other questions that are coming in, and I'd love to give the opportunity for Raheem. If you could please ask your question live. You should now be allowed to talk.
How you doing? Couple things. One, I actually have an alumni brother. I don't know if any of you know of Ace, the Kappa.
Yeah, we know Ace.
He's really annoying when you get to know him in real life, but that's not the point. But he has told me a couple things about Stockton. He's told me that there are ups and downs to it, that there are some issues with it, that there are also some good points with it. So I did want to come and see how it is for myself. I actually am a transfer student myself. I'm coming from New York. I guess my second question, because I asked a question before, would be, okay. I'm sorry, I'm not really the best with words.
Oh, you are. You're good. I know that you're from New York. I know that Ace is a little annoying. I'm going to tell him that, okay?
Listen, you can tell him that. I tell him that every day. But
Go ahead, ask the second question.
But my thing is this. So I'm a poet. I am also a big believer in the BLM movement. I'm a firm supporter of it. So I just wanted to ask, like, is there any sort of like presence of the BLM movement inside Stockton? Has there been any like protests or anything of that sort?
Yes, it definitely has.
You are asking that at a great time. This Saturday, we're holding a rally, a Black Lives Matter protest. So I'll let one of our panelists to answer those questions.
Go ahead, Janet.
So actually, when the fall semester started, around when it started, there was a Black Lives Matter protest. We walked the entire campus. We went from outside the freshman housing, which is on the main academic side of campus, all the way to upperclassmen housing around our lake, chanting different Black Lives Matter. If you've ever been to a protest, you know what we say. And we went around the entire campus, and people joined as we walked by. There were people for, I don't even know how many people were there. And we walked through the campus center. People came out of their offices and were like, what's all that noise? So it was a really interesting experience to be on our campus, our predominantly white institution, and see so many people, Black, brown, white, whoever, together with one main cause. And we had people speak, and all types of people spoke, and we just all were together. and celebrating Black people, Black lives, and also remembering Black lives that were lost. So we definitely do have a very large amount of people who support Black Lives Matter. There's faculty who sign their emails with Black Lives Matter. So you are definitely going to be represented and supported, at least in that aspect, for sure.
Yeah, and I've also had professors that have we're also right next to Atlantic City, and they definitely have a Black Lives Matter presence. They have a chapter of Black Lives Matter that my professor actually like had me tag along with her to one of the meetings and everything, just like to support and to, you know, get into that different realm of like activism. So you'll definitely be supported, and there are definitely professors here that will, if they see the potential in you, they'll definitely tap your shoulder to come along to some of the protests, to organize some of the protests, to organize different efforts in the community. And that's something else that you should like kind of engage in, is engage your community that is surrounding the campus. Don't just get stuck on the campus, because some students can tend to get stuck on the campus and only like look for opportunities there, but there are opportunities right outside the gates of the institution. So make sure that you definitely tap into those resources, and even some alumni that may like come back, like me, if I'm around, or if there's any opportunities that professors know of, make sure you definitely like stay tapped in.
Thank you all for sharing that. I think that without us, you know, kind of veering away from what we're used to, right? Without like sounding the alarm, then progress wouldn't be made. I want to let you know that Stockton University is committed to building a community that values differences of race, of religion, gender, ethnicity, national origin, socioeconomic status, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And I only know because I was very fortunate enough early in my career to be asked to be on a task force to revitalize the mission of the university. So they oftentimes recruit students, they recruit professional staff and faculty to come in and say, hey, there is work to be done. We are a young university, which gives us a lot of potential to change and to grow. Right? So there's an entire response to racial justice and solidarity with Black Lives Matter, and it can be found in this link that I'm going to copy and paste in the chat for any of those that would like to read more about it, because this is a continuous movement. It's not going to change overnight, next year or the year after that. So I appreciate that question, okay? And I hope that you consider transferring to Stockton. So I have a few more right here, and we are past the hour. So I would love to be able to wrap this up a little bit more, but Beyonce, do you see Stockton and its clubs, organizations addressing intersectionality? For example, being an LGBT POC, WOC, biraciality, etc. Can Stockton improve in this field? And if so, how? Woo! Child. Do people even know what POC, WOC, and all of those things mean? Because I do, but it's important for our panelists to explain to our audience, right, all of those identities and what we're doing right now and how we can improve.
So first, if you don't mind, Jess, I have to say, shout out to Beyonce. She was a student in my Black feminism class. So that's why she knows all of that. And that's why, no, I'm just kidding. She's brilliant student here at Stockton. But she's talking about being a person of color, woman of color, right? A member of the LGBTQ plus. I always get all of the, I miss the acronyms and I apologize, but LGBTQIA plus or community. We talk about that, and intersectionality is huge. And I think that I know my faculty in social work, we definitely focus on intersectionality, and that's the idea, right? That you're not just one identity. And I think that's so important, right? You're not just Black, you're not just white, you're not just Hispanic, you're not just a woman, you're all of those things together, and you shouldn't have to choose, right? You can be all of those things exactly as they exist within you. Right. And I just think that Stockton is really working to recognize that, you know, in the classroom, hopefully outside of the classroom. I know we push for that, right? Not having people just identified as one thing, but the totality of who they are, and recognizing and respecting all of those identities. So those are some of those things that she was talking about, if you don't mind me clarifying, Beyonce, which I'm thinking she'll say, no, I don't mind that.
Yeah, and really quickly, I just want to interject, just to go off of that, not just clubs and organizations talk about intersectionality, but as an incoming freshman, I had a course called Black Men in America, and it was held by Dr. Jonathan Johnson. And that course talked about the aspects of intersectionality and what it means. So you might find courses that talk about it as well, and you might want to take those courses.
Also, to piggyback on Roy's point to be made, and as a public health major, conversations like this do happen, and while some people view them as uncomfortable, those, you know, the usual, so you're as uncomfortable, some people are like, you gotta push out of your comfort zone. And as a public health major, with the statistics of people that have, you know, disparities in morbidities due to racism or prejudice, these conversations come up a lot, because the first thing we always want to focus on is the factors and why this happens, and we like to build awareness of that. And, you know, some people say, you know, it starts in the classroom. The more people that are more aware, the sooner we can start fixing the issue. So.
Thank you, John, and thank you all. I know that we could talk all night about and share and exchange stories, right? And ideas on how to improve. And I'm just really excited to be a part of that change. I'm excited that we have a university president that allows us to be a part of that change, that allows us to get together and form committees and retention groups, right? And I'm talking about from all races, right? All ethnicities, all backgrounds. And we come forth with recommendations, and we are heard. And oftentimes we forget the progress that we have made in such a short amount of time. Like I said, Stockton is only 50 years young. And I want to reiterate that, because most colleges and universities that are our competitors have been around for centuries. So there is an opportunity for change, and the change will be through you, through the prospective student, that all of you that have joined us this evening, many of our faculty and staff that joined to support our students in these difficult discussions, to support me and Dr. Lewis. We appreciate everyone for joining us. Please stay connected. Visit us at admissions.stockton.edu for future events. We plan on having an entire tea series where we're going to spill the tea about femininity, right? We're going to spill the tea about commonality, about everything that has something to do with what is going on in the world today. Also, if you are a prospective student, and I'm going to put you in the chat here, please visit us at admissions.stockton and then /open house. We have an open house series beginning March 22nd, and it's going to last through March 26th with a variety of different sessions about majors, topics like First Ospreys, our student transition programs, our student achievement office. Residential Life will be representing to tell you all about Residential Life and all of the programs, like I said, all the different majors, Career Center, everything. So if you have any questions, please go to that website and register. And once again, thank you for tuning in this evening. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. I'm quoting Jay-Z, okay? I was gonna say you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, okay? Mic drop, like I'm kidding. All right, well, I love you all, and I hope that you will respond when I send you an email with the survey, because if you fill out the survey, you will get a special prize. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm not spilling the tea on the prize. Thank you, panelists. Thank you, our hostess with the mostest, Amanda Noel, who is the brains behind this evening, Dr. Maya Lewis, our moderator. Have a great evening, everyone.